Hey Kira, I'm back with day 7 of our 14-day DIY embellishment series for Valentine's Day. Today you're going to need some leather and some scissors and some thread if you want to sew on yours like I did. These are a picture from Target, which is the inspiration for our feathers today. Now what you're going to be seeing me do is something a little bit different. I actually make reclaimed leather earrings. That's why I have a lot of leather in a whole bunch of different colors, and some of it is really thin and some of it is thicker. Basically, what I do to find leather is I go to the thrift store and I pick up really old 80s bright colored leather jackets and I cut them up. So that's a tip for you if you have some old leather jackets hanging around that you haven't worn for a long time, or just some scrap leather. That's a good way to pick it up. And you can get it for pretty cheap, especially if it's on sale. So here you see me, and I'm just kind of rounding it in. So I like my feathers to be a little bit more realistic looking, so they're going to be really feathery on the edges. And the key to doing this, as you can see, is to round your scissors into the feather and kind of follow that edge. And then you're going to go back in and notch out some areas where you've cut already. So that'll give it a little bit more dimension. Instead of making it look flat, you'll actually have a feathery looking piece. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. And you're going to see me in a few minutes struggle with the sewing machine. I tried to sew on this one and it wasn't working because this was a suede. It was suede on both sides and it was a lot thinner. So the sewing machine basically wasn't catching on either side. So I tried it one time. I figured, well, maybe I'll adjust the setting. Try it a second time. Still didn't work. And so instead of ripping it all the way in half, I decided to take some crochet thread that I have and just hand stitch up the middle. And it turned out okay. I was okay with it. It was more of like a boho look, which I'm fine with, and I'll still use it in something. But I do prefer the machine stitching, which you'll see me here in a minute do on the second one. Okay, and I do apologize because I thought I was filming and I wasn't. I just hot glued the ends of the string to the back of that, and I thought, I had such a hard time with the first one sewing through it, and so I thought maybe I could put some cardstock on the back, and that just whatever. I gave up on that. So I thought, you know what, this is a thicker leather. It is leather on one side, it's suede on the other. I know that I've sewn through it before and had no problem with sewing through it, so I'm going to try it again. So again, you see me rounding the edges and coming in and notching it out, and yeah, same process as before, just make it look more feathery. I have a problem with the other way because it kind of looks like palm leaves instead of feathers. And I know the idea is still that it is a feather, but for me, a feather is feathery. It's not like notched out like a palm leaf would be. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Oh, and my daughter, she's not taking a nap today, and so you can probably hear her in the background. Whatever, the struggle is real. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring it back over to my sewing machine and sew up the center, and I did some mint colored, oh no, I did the coral colored thread, that's right. I had kind of an issue getting it started because the end of the feather kept going down into the hole at the bottom where your bobbin thread comes up from, but we figured it out. So those are those two, and I do end up really liking how those turn out. And then these final two I'm just gonna do for anybody who likes the palm leaf look. I just simply rounded it up just like the first couple that I had shown you, and went in and notched them out. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just looks like palm leaves. I did end up going in the end and just touching it with my iron for just a split second. You don't want to touch the leather side with hot iron. You want to do it on the suede side, and just a real quick second is all that it takes. You're just kind of kissing it, and it ends up being flat and nice. Okay, and I think we're coming up on the end here, so I wanted to thank you real quick for stopping in and joining us for our 14 days of DIY Valentine's Day embellishments. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe and like our video and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Here's some close-ups. Bye!